Hi, so we've looked at how you take a demo and make that into something a bit more like an album track. Let's go back in time and have a look at how that demo got written in the first place. Welcome to Making the Album. Hi, it's Mark. Welcome to Making the Album. This is the little series in which I take us through the process of starting with nothing really and ending up with an album full of finished tracks. Last time we looked at how we went from a scrubby little demo of a song, breaking that down and building it up again in parts to try and make it sound a bit more like a finished album track. Today we're going to be looking at the same song but going back in time a little bit. So we're actually going to look at how that song was written in the first place. If you haven't seen the previous video talking about the song, which is called I Don't Want You, I Need You, then by all means check that out now, because it will provide a little bit of context for where we're heading today. But don't worry if you haven't, because we're actually going to take a little listen to the song now anyway, so that we know what we're dealing with. So here's the first half of the song as more or less finished. Then I'm going to take you back and show you how that was written. Okay, here's the song.
Well, day and night you're on my mind. I need to fix that pretty soon. Wherever I look, I'm going blind. Is there a doctor in the room? But I kinda like this illness. I'm not sure I need a cure, no. I don't want you, I need you. Like crazy, like crazy. I don't want you, I need you. Like crazy, like crazy. I keep it all inside. I keep it all inside. I keep it all inside. I crave a break from this addiction. I'm just a junkie.
Okay, so how did the song start? Well, in this particular case, I had just had this idea that the title of the song made a good title for a song. I Don't Want You, I Need You. You could probably write a nice sort of song with a bit of story, or at least just some context around that, where you can sort of see what the person is thinking who's singing it. And so I already had a vague sort of plot for the idea of the song. We'll take a look at it now. This is it here. So you can see that I had a draft idea, which is basically day and night you're on my mind. I need to fix that. Wherever I look, I'm going blind. Free rhyme. Need to fix that. But I kind of like this illness. I don't think I need a cure. So I don't want you. I need you. And actually, if you know the song, it didn't take much work. That's so close to what it ended up with lyrically anyway, which we can see here. And in fact, you can even see that by the time I'd written the lyrics, which was very early on in the process, I'd already decided that the pre-chorus should have a sort of slower, more lilting, maybe slightly slinky quality. So anyway, the song is a verse, pre-chorus, chorus, fairly standard structure. There's a little turnaround sort of tag at the end of the chorus as well, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So how did I go from those words, which were written first, to the tune? So I knew that the verse wanted to be in a sort of minor key, to feel sort of slightly shady, a little bit like you're sort of out late at night. I don't mean partying, I just mean kind of out, like wandering the street or whatever. And I wanted the chorus to be in the corresponding major key, because I wanted that to feel kind of quite sort of jubilant and kind of empowered and energized compared to the verse. So in this particular case, I thought I'd start with the verse, and as I say, I wanted it to be in a minor key, so I'm starting with a minor chord, which in this case is A minor because the thing is in C. So I'd started off and I basically came up with this little tune which just sort of sat around in a slightly funky way because I wanted it to be kind of a bit groovy. So the initial track tune that I started with, the verse just went like this. Pretty straightforward, right? That's quite nice. A little bit of variation second time around is like, but it's essentially the same tune. So that goes with singing. So that sounds like this. Well, day and night you're on my mind. I need to fix that pretty soon. Wherever I look, I'm going blind. Is there a doctor in the room? Okay, so that's how the verse goes. And like I say, I knew that I wanted the chorus to be in a major key, but the thing is with writing in a major key coming straight out of a minor key is it can seem a little bit nice. So you might be like, kind of like, this is a major key, it is really nice, isn't it? Isn't it? I didn't want that. Okay, nobody wants that. So it was a case of going, right, I want to move into a major key with major notes in it, like very happy. But we have this thing in music called modes, church modes. They're hundreds of years old. And before you switch off in boredom, every piece of music that you listen to right now is written in one of the church modes. I absolutely guarantee it. So what we think of as like major key music, which is all like this, you know. Major key music, that is the Ionian mode from church modes years and years ago. And anything that we think is kind of in the minor mode, like... that kind of minor feel, that's the Aeolian mode from ancient church modes. Anyway, the point being that the church modes can sort of help us to write music sometimes, and particularly tunes. And there's a particular church mode, which is called Mixolydian. Don't worry about the name. But essentially, let's just look at what that means. So a Mixolydian mode is basically the normal scale that you've got, like, but you flatten the seventh, if you know what that means. So instead of playing that note, you play that note. So your scale sounds like this. Okay, not that exciting by itself, but there are quite a few songs written in this style, some classics, and it's very particular sort of style. And what you get is you get an extra note thrown in, which gives the thing a bit of a swagger. So if you're writing in a major key, like I'm starting with this chord, right? But instead of it being super nice, I'm actually going to play something like... okay, which is slightly more interesting, right? So that's the start of the chorus. But then, as I say, I wanted it to be kind of energized and jubilant. So we go for what is probably quite an unexpected chord change after that, from C into E major, which isn't technically speaking in that key, but you can get away with this sort of thing. So where we're going with the start of this is... and what you can see is you get a kind of energizing jump from going from that Mixolydian flatted seventh note, very technical sounding, but essentially this, into this. Like, it just played alone, like it's like, oh, something's happening, right? It feels empowered and good. It's like... okay, so that's the start of the chorus. So I knew that the chorus was going to be like that and sound kind of energized. And so if I sort of sing along to it, it's going like this. I don't want you, I need you. Like crazy, like crazy. I don't want you, I need you. Like crazy, like crazy. My voice hasn't warmed up yet today. Anyway, you get the picture. So that's how I wrote the chorus. And the two parts sit quite nicely together. In terms of the fact they're in relative keys, but I wanted something to kind of power between the two, because like if you've got a verse going, well, day and night you're on mine, I need to fix that pretty soon, and you go straight into, I don't want you, I need you, like crazy. It feels quite similar energy-wise, so I wanted something in between in the pre-chorus to slow it down and make it a bit more weird and slinky, and then when you jumped into the chorus, you'd be like, oh wow, this is really nice actually. Like that thing when if you go to a swimming pool and you go through the cold foot wash and it's like, oh, and then you jump in the pool and it's really warm. I want it to be like that. Or kind of like Mario appearing out one of those pipes, you know? So anyway, so I needed to write a pre-chorus which sat between them and did that job for me. So the pre-chorus, I was like, we're going to use some slightly unusual chords and bits and pieces in it to kind of twist it into a shape where when you come out at the end, you really just pop out into the chorus, right? And so... this is what I settled for. So, and then you really are set up for, I don't want you. Okay. I didn't write the pre-chorus until I'd written the verse and the chorus, and I could see, okay, I'm going from this to this. I need to break it up in the middle a little bit. So my pre-chorus is going to be this weird kind of bit, but you only hear it for a few seconds. It's 4 bars, it's over before you know it, so it doesn't matter. It's a bit weird. It just kind of pokes, and then you jump into the main bit of the chorus. So what we've got now then all together is like, well, day and night you're on my mind, I need to fix that pretty soon. Where I look I'm going blind, is there a doctor in the room? Well, I kind of like this illness, I'm not sure I need a cure, no. I don't want you, I need you. Like crazy, like crazy. I don't want you, and so on, right, to the notes. Yeah, I can't hit stay. So that's great. And then you can go back into the verse, right? Well, not necessarily, because if you go straight back into the verse, again, you've got that kind of energy, doesn't really change enough problem. So like, if I'm going from that bit of verse at the end there, bit of chorus, which I just finished singing like this, I don't want you, I need you, like crazy, like crazy. And I just go straight back into, well, day and night you're on my mind, I need to fix that. It doesn't really sound like it's changed very much, does it? So at the end of the chorus, we had a thing called a turnaround, or a tag. Turnaround's a kind of tag, I guess, if you do music, I suppose. But yeah, so turnaround, which kind of just gives us a little bit of a kind of palate cleanser, like a sip of water when you switch drinks, or like if you just had toothpaste, you don't want orange juice. That's a terrible thing to say. I'm sorry. Anyway, a palate cleanser, right? So we have the end of the chorus, which is like, I don't want you, I need you, like crazy, like crazy. And then just a little thing, which is just, I keep it all inside, I keep it all inside, I keep it all inside. And boom, dun, 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 dun. You see, you're ready for the verse then, aren't you? Previously, without that bit, it's just like, oh yeah, verse again, blah, 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 bit boring. And the songwriter's job is to keep what they call forward motion throughout the song, which means that each section needs to set you up for the next section. Even if you're going back to the start with the verse, you need to feel that you're being propelled in there. And I think that really kind of like sort of musical theatre chord, which is an E major over a G sharp, if you're interested, it is like actually really like kind of lobs you into the verse again. You're like, oh, right, okay, oh, it's like being pushed onto the stage to sing the verse. And just play those chords, just the chords of the chorus and the turnaround, and you'll see how it goes, like flings you into the verse, like I just said. Okay, so we got like, I don't want you, I need you, like crazy, like crazy. I don't want you, I need you, like crazy, like crazy. I keep it all inside, I keep it all inside, I keep it all inside. And that's pretty much it. And that's how I went from nothing and a few words to a written song. And actually this one was pretty quick. This didn't take more than about, say, like an hour or so to put together. Sometimes they take hours and hours and hours, but this one was pretty quick. And actually I tend to find that's a really good sign. If you've written a song quickly, it just usually has more instant appeal, does to me anyway. Stuff that you labour over, probably just a bit too involved for other people. But anyway, that's the end of how I wrote that song. Thanks to those of you who stuck it out to this point in this really long video. Do appreciate it. I haven't made many of these, so if you've got any comments, good or bad, about how this video was, things you'd like to see more of, things you'd like to see fewer of, then just please tell me in the comments below. If you did enjoy this, please subscribe, leave a like, and maybe even share it to friends of yours who are into writing music as well, because it'd be great to get as much feedback as possible on this stuff. If you want to know more about what I'm up to, want to know more about making the album, this particular project, and then please do follow me on Twitter. That's Mark CBH at Twitter. The links are in the description below, as you'd expect anyway. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much once again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.